Oh, look at that, we started.
So where'd you, 2794, where'd you see that?
It's
It's in the village
like
one,
halfway down
Oh,
page
okay.
5 in that, in your scale.
page 5.
I didn't see 2794.
Well,
It's for next year's.
I mean,
Page 5?
you know, but
Oh,
it's
proposed,
Todd's turn, so
proposals.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's Todd's turn, let's let Todd do his thing.
Oh, wait,
Todd
okay.
wants 24 what?
I'm in filming.
Emily, you got 3, we're good.
Ellie, no, where's the 4th? Or the 5th?
But no comment.
That was a slip, that was a slip. I'm sorry.
Good people don't slip. Good people can control.
Maybe he'll be-
I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting.
Anyway, so I apologize for the
Good.
binders, I did not have the labels to put on the tab.
Oh, my God.
I'm hoping to have them tomorrow, so if you wanna bring your binders to me tomorrow or Friday,
Well,
I'll fix them.
All I can say though is as compared to last year, are all the pages numbered?
I would doubt it, but you know,
I thought maybe I'd get one of the others.
so if we go,
Either.
if you go into behind the first tab. You get the actual report that has all the timelines.
You mean, what? Okay, got it.
Yep, that one.
Budget scenario 1.
Right.
Yes.
And Todd's stuff is on the bottom of page 4 and then the top of 5.
All right, so at least those pages are marked. Good start.
Todd, in your wages line, there is that extra 30-hour a week position that we had previously filled.
Mhm.
It's in there.
Still in there.
It's in there, but it's only at like $20.60 an hour or something like that, so.
Can you repeat where we are today?
The first tab,
Page 4.
Yeah.
Behind the
Here's
first one.
page 1.
So is that just a blown up version of what I'm looking at?
Yes.
Here's a small one.
So on the assessor personal services line that is included,
That 30 hours at $20.60 is included, in addition to yours and Deb's.
okay, thanks.
which
So,
represents the whole
of the-
165,
Yes.
okay.
Don't we look sharp?
Of the isolated, 50,000. Separate line not being drawn from.
That 50,000 for the reassessment? I'm confused.
No, down.
What are you saying, 50?
Hold on a second.
That 50,000 is a separate one. That 50,000.
For activities. Relative to.
Correct.
Alright, that makes more sense.
Your actual is projected. The January 2024 to December of 2024. Because it's obviously not. So the 98,823.
So that projected is through, when did I print this? That would include this past paper.
Oh, no, not through nine.
That 98,000 is not through December, that's
Okay.
actuals so far this year.
So
Okay.
you shouldn't have a date below it on
Right,
either.
actually year to date.
I mean,
But
I could have printed the report actual through September 30th, September 2024, but it
Well,
screws
as long
up
as-
the year-to-date numbers.
right,
It's just easier not to.
I was just wondering why the deficit between the 140 and 98, if that was, I was gonna say
Why,
that, yeah.
but why did we keep the 33,000 in there? You don't, because you still want that position?
Yeah, that's what.
We're gonna talk about that.
We're working towards me deciding to put up with doing that process of finding a employee.
Yeah, because you didn't want to split it any longer, correct?
It doesn't work out with codes.
Like what you had mentioned the last time.
They have different set of field activities, basically, that-
Yeah, departments, it's tough to share, gotcha.
and with 2 people going out. That's awkward enough, 3 people going out. People put up their hands like, well, what's going on?
Yeah.
And so we try to cut it down.
No,
I don't need for.
Unless they have to go on the lake, in which case
It was a beautiful day.
apparently goes.
So but your
Cool as
hesitation is that you just.
Nobody
don't
invites
find
me,
that right
though.
person again because of what
Right,
the limited success of,
but I just as soon hire no one after trying,
yeah,
it's just,
but you haven't even advertised it again.
no, we've gotta find another scheme for that, because it's not that appetizing. to Work 30 hours a week.
However, do you, I think I asked you this question before. Last.
To go into.
Information
officer or something? Yeah.
So this,
I've changed my tune on that.
yeah, that's what I mean, that's what we talked about, was the fact of. We'll budget it if you decide to, but. Advertise, nothing comes, don't sell.
So you wanna think of a way to rewrite the job description?
Not positive rewriting, it's. The best thing without a factual change from 30 hours to 8 hours.
Restructuring of the whole entire position to make it appetizing for
First of
someone to
all,
move here.
This person will be all my office.
Hmm.
But what we're getting at is. I've got the paperwork in to figure out how much more time I need to spend to retire. Got a kid will leave college soon. So I have more freedom to do that. Deb's going to retire. Probably in 3 years. Because with her social security situation. She'll be maxed out in 3 years and free to go. She doesn't mind coming in and helping, especially during. Re-registering for exemption period, because that's time intensive. But the question is, do you want at least one seasoned employee? When we're both gone. And that's sort of what we're trying to get at, and I can't always get help from the county. And so. 2 folks taping houses and measuring things up. Is pretty convenient, relative, to just one person doing it. So that's what I'm looking at, is leaving you guys with something. We don't know who this person is yet, whether they be decent fodder to be an assessor, or at the very least, an office assistant. That knows what's going on. And there's a little bit of culture to every office, and the way the files are set up. Someone should know it and learn it. And be able to translate it to someone else. When you guys go to hire an assessor, probably looking statewide, region-wide. There are seasoned assessors that are state certified that would take the position, but. Coming in blind to 8,000 new records is. It's a battle.
In our talk today, basically comes down to this. If 3 years is basically what it looks like for, both Todd and Deb. The imperative first part would be to consider this part-time job actually going to full-time, because they'll need 2 cycles, 2 years to be adept at data and Deb's job and learning some of Todd's, so that as Deb gets ready to go, that other person assumes that to free him up for at least a 1-year period with someone new. I think what we're all doing is trying to prepare for whether we're all still here. I mean, I already know for me what it'll be. But to leave a town this size without someone very capable, it'd be a nightmare.
Yeah, that's presuming you guys like my 100%.
Oh,
Staying current.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, there's others in the county that have found how easy it is to do the other,
Yes,
and I think it'll bite them in the end. But it'll bite them more slowly because their economies are chugging along like ours.
right.
So if I'm understanding you, so you're looking at 2 options. One is to bring someone in who could have the potential to assume your position. Or the other option is someone to come in,
I think it's all
learn the
right.
office and maintain that institutional knowledge while we have someone new come in as an assessor to help assist.
Those 2 concepts are wrapped together in the person, but I like, just help me first. I'd be happy if someone was helpful. In the field in particular. At the same time. Come in and say, I'm processing the files there, I see fit. That person has got a little slack time to help and learn from Deb. So that's one person. Now, if this is a dynamic person that can take over my job in the end, well, that person's gotta know enough to help with the new assistant.
Sure.
That will have to be hired, so.
Okay. But then how we construct position now is gonna lay the groundwork moving forward, and you're saying, so you have to increase the salary to make it attractive. to find-
No, he's saying increase the hours.
Hours,
Not
which
Which
the
is
salary.
salary, just a little more time.
So it's
Do you
more
think it would be
enticing.
enough?
So instead of 30 hours a week, make it 37 and a half or 40.
I'm just thinking that
And
like,
leave the rate the same.
I would say so.
we would wanna be aggressive, because we don't want the left. Todd going and everyone going and then scrambling to find someone who's competent. But I'm saying, if we don't pay somebody
Oh,
to be around during that time and incentivize them learning.
But if in this round, a suitable candidate is not found, we're not gonna pretend we can put up with one of these amounts.
So you're asking to move this from 30 to 37.5. We don't have a 30, isn't it 37.5 or 40? Is that our option?
35, you can make it whatever you want, but we standardize 7 and 8 hours, so it's usually 35 or 40.
Or 40.
Or,
But we-
well, it would be,
We
yeah,
can
Seven.
minimally hire 30.
7. Oh, 7, 7.5 and 8.
Yeah, we can do a 7
So you
and a
can do
half,
37.
but to me personally, 7 and a half doesn't make any sense.
Well,
If
does,
you're gonna do 7 and a half, you might as well just make it 8 hours.
no, I agree, but that's the point, just to break it down, that's the point. 37.5 is 7.5 hour day.
But looking at this in an annual budget sense, this person's not ready. This canvas hasn't happened yet.
Right.
There's half a year, at least it's gonna go by
Right,
unfilled.
Okay. So,
So I'm not
yeah.
asking for a ton this year.
right, so that, it's like you mentioned, the last mention of this is the fact you don't want to even like advertise till like March.
Maybe a little earlier, just because things move so slow.
Yeah,
Thinking that somebody who might be like a newly graduated college.
I'd be
Might
ecstatic
be
if that person could
interested.
work with people and numbers.
and there's, with this generation of people, workers, there's more and more people that are changing jobs. Every generation or every decade
Hopefully it's
increases.
not because they just found out the workload was so high, they don't like it.
Yeah, right,
I have a little experience with today's generation's mentality.
yeah, I think we all do. So basically, so you put it in for a full year at 30 hours.
But it's
Correct.
essentially cover it, because it's not gonna be hired until
Right,
March.
right.
Right now, it's in at that 30 a week at $20.60
so the new
an
position
hour, so.
Yeah, so it would basically just about cover it.
affect the travel line. I'm sure there's courses and stuff you would want a new person to go to, like Association of Towns or your special assessor seminars.
The first year.
Yeah,
I don't know, I'm just,
in the first year, probably not,
Not a lot of time to play
and
with.
right,
if DTF puts on some of their free ones, I could probably pick them up right in Raybrook.
okay,
And like free being the operative word there too,
Mm.
but there's a base level of education required to be assessor or even an assessor candidate,
right,
so there's stuff that. And that's why I pick the free ones, and so I think we can take care of that
good.
without putting a lot of money on the line. I pretty much mirrored what the expenses were telling me. For supplies and capital outlay. I don't expect to be picking up any significant amount of furniture or anything like that.
Unless you do hire somebody, we're gonna need to put a computer in place.
I haven't thought of that yet.
Equipment and capital outlay. How come it's only 1,000? This versus you've already spent 1,500 and we budgeted
Who
20
cares?
years.
There's a standing desk and desks,
Okay.
has Deb's space and a chair for my side.
Oh, that's fine.
That's what it was this year.
I was just wondering why it went down this year.
I don't project, it's kind of, I didn't really know where computers would come on.
Yeah, that's up for discussion because we
I
kind of
thought we
last
had
year
a central
decided,
supply.
yeah, exactly, so,
So
it's
did you
have to be.
canned Deb's old computer just because it was a resurrected antique anyhow?
Yeah, basically. I have in the budget, not his specific, but in the budget, I'm planning for replacement of, I think it's a total of 5 computers. For next year, and I think that's being a little pessimistic.
Will this person need a desk and chair?
There is a useful
Stool and a
8 by
card
8
table?
desk.
Actually, it's a gorgeous desk.
It is,
Yeah.
the only way you're gonna get it out of that room is to chop it up, so probably gonna stay there forever.
And the 50,000 that was budgeted for 24 that was never spent, is the townhome condominium one or something else?
No, that's about spending what it takes to get the reassessment done, and that's was a little bit reserved for, I don't know how hard it's gonna be, do we need to bring in commercial advice?
So it'd be for commercial advice.
Right, but also saw somewhere along the line, we paid just shy of $11,000 for the girls from the county. And that's not in here,
It gets charged back on our taxes. So the entire county, that goes on the county tax roll.
So you
I think
Wait,
just about
every-
every town who gets help from the county.
Yeah.
Basically does the same thing, so it's,
it works for me, I just wasn't positive how that was going.
So even though we don't see them as much, we still get charged.
Yeah, we're in, see, this past year, we just did, what was the full blown reassessment.
Right.
Supposedly eligible for state reimbursement. They haven't made a determination yet, it'd be about $20,000 to be back for doing a great job. We get deemed to have done such a thing.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No problem. And then there's interim years where you're still going out, collecting things, but I find more of a mess than I can handle myself. There's contracting with folks like our associates, which I used last time. I don't think I'll spend all this $50,000, I think is the answer.
Rather have it and not use it.
But you didn't spend any of it in 24,
That is correct.
and you did a full reassessment,
Finished one, which we spent 3 years prior to getting to that point.
and you spent some money getting to that point.
I didn't go commercial this time, no. The last time I pulled in a commercial group was in 2018.
So should we cut that?
Well,
I'm not saying get rid of
I
it.
have a question, cause I don't know
Yeah.
where we levy the 17,000 for our appraisal for Elderwood, where does that come from?
That came out of central services, I believe.
Because, not that I wanna charge Todd with the 17,000, but I need to know where it's
Well,
allocated
certainly
from.
maybe we could do a better job if I have to pay for it.
Yeah,
Your pay will be garnished for the next few
I'm
years
gonna
until it's done.
say that it came out of central services, professional services,
okay,
and we've only paid 50% so
Right.
far,
right,
so.
okay.
But
Very
I
good,
can double check on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's my point. I mean, if you haven't used that 50,000 in a while. Or haven't used any services at all since 18. You know, I mean, obviously you gotta cut someplace.
He's gonna need to though, if he has to do a commercial reassessment and can't get it done in-house. Like if he needs to go out and get
But
assistance,
how,
Right.
if you do. How legitimate is that 50,000? I mean, is that gonna suck it all up?
If you remain flexible for the next 2 years after this. I see little problem with making the 25,000. Because the likelihood of spending 25 is greater.
That's what I'm thinking. I just pick, cut it by half.
so make it 25?
That's
That
everybody
would be
thinks.
fair.
With the notation that you may need to bore.
Yeah, when we're sitting here next year.
Don't judge you,
at this
but
Yeah,
time,
yeah. No, because like you said, and when you said I haven't used anything since 2018. So 6 years, haven't
But
used
that
anything.
50 is only a 1 year old
Right, right,
at this point in time, so.
correct.
did you already answer it and I missed it? under professional services, what percentage did you use?
Or,
Okay.
no,
Not the number for.
No,
You mean-
No,
You mean for wages for
Yes.
everybody? I use 3%.
okay,
I put in a request of 3% across the board for everyone,
Oh, for personal services, okay.
which, you know,
oh,
with
I
the
said
union.
professional.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's through
okay.
me, yeah.
So, but that's why I was like, what do we?
Yeah,
He's
he's professional though,
No, well, so am I. So having said that, though, with the union negotiating for a renewal because their contract expires end of this year. Depending on what the board approves and
Right.
negotiates and settles on,
That's one of the leverage
that might
factors, I get it,
fluctuate, yeah.
okay.
The increasing healthcare premiums, does that have any bearing on what we're talking about here?
So the renewal for our current packages, the gold and silver that we have came in. Around, I think one was like 4.8 and the other one was like 5.6 or something like
Yeah,
that.
it wasn't substantial.
It was a
No.
lot less than what they were projecting, so
That's good.
but that
Which
doesn't-
next year.
we don't generally factor increase in health insurance costs into increases in wages.
Okay, because, you know, there's the town matching and I didn't know if that figured in.
I mean, that's a discussion that they all have to have at some point during this budget workshop month. And it hasn't started really yet. Oh, I think I have to check on his contracts and agreements, cause I'm not sure, your copier is a Curacera. Is that, I can't remember, do you know, is that all one item, like is is the lease for that included with the maintenance and toner and
It's wrapped together.
it's all together as one, okay. So that's under the equipment rentals.
With the caveat
leases,
that we have yet to need a new big part for it.
Right,
Everything's been hunky dory, so.
okay. So I think that 2330 is that whole kit and caboodle, but I need to double check. The next line under it, that's a 0 for contracts and agreements.
So. I'm not under any special contracting agreement except that copier,
Right.
and I'm not sure if that's really the bin you put that in. I mean,
I consider it to
signed
be a
bill
rental,
for-
right? I mean,
Yeah, I signed a bill for $188 a month or
Right.
something like that.
right, which I think, and that's everything, that includes your toner and maintenance, so yeah, that's the 2330, so that should be that should be good.
That includes preventive maintenance, not repairs.
It's a maintenance contract, if it needs repairs, it should be included.
Okay.
At least, yeah.
We've had a few
Yes.
weird things happen that. Builders came in, and fixed it
Okay,
right there in front of us and there were
Okay.
tons.
And you don't go over your allotted, like 6,000 pages or whatever your agreement is for.
No, I might have gone slightly over last year. I think there was like
I'm not
50
using
$50.
his beer anymore.
Is that?
there,
So.
Derek, go department to department. Are you low on your allotment?
Maybe now, I'll put your office.
And how low are you?
Did I print 500 pages? I'll go back to back.
That's 6 cents a sheet.
That's right, yeah,
He does make a lot of maps for me.
I know.
Well, that'll drop off because that photography's getting old.
Well, we take 25 out of his budget, that puts him right in line with where he's at for this year's budget.
That looks good on paper.
It does.
Everything looks good on paper.
How many more departments we have to do that with?
Yeah, really.
I'm gonna take everything I can get.
When do you think the county will do another like aerial remapping?
Okay.
Actually, didn't we do it 2 years ago?
It's a April-ish of 2022 is when it was flown last.
Yeah.
And I think when I asked you, you said, oh, we're going another year. So that'll be in year 2025. Spring, the big fly.
Yeah.
Do you
So
mind?
then you can find all those
Because it does the whole
secrets.
county,
Yeah.
so these guys have to come to agreement with the county level. And obviously they're not gonna take as much money.
In 30 seconds, what does that process entail?
I know.
It's a flyover.
A slow plane, all cameraed up, geolocated. And that's static altitude and just shoot in a grid pattern. And shooting in all directions, so you get oblique shots, you get straight down shots,
Okay.
the whole deal.
For the coordination, yeah.
Yeah, so then you got a bunch of raw photography, and then they geo coordinate it,
Mhm.
try to make the tax maps line up with reality.
What is it, within 2 feet or is it 4 feet that the GPS recognizes?
I wouldn't believe any of that.
No, I don't know.
It's,
The GPS is good
yeah,
and correct,
and then
but the Earth
GIS.
is round, the lenses are round, so there's error built into the
Degree.
photography. And you got planimetric flat maps trying to fit over a rounded surface.
Right.
So it's screwed up in places. So if the property line goes through your garage, don't start a war with your neighbor immediately. Check with a surveyor.
But think of the time it has saved to do GPS.
And the homes it has found.
Yeah, yeah, regardless of where the corner pins are. Anyway, I think it all looks good. I think your plan of moving forward for the future is
I think it's for
rock solid,
I think it's for the both of us.
yeah.
I just think it'll be interesting to see if there's actually someone who is qualified.
For the same price that Stewart just paid.
Yeah.
But I'd
Yeah,
say
that's
that
what-
my office is
what you
probably
said.
less stressful than Stewart's, so.
In theory.
We provide benefits. Yeah, always
notice those too.
Yeah.
I
Some
think
partial
they're,
ownership.
I think they're limited. Now, you didn't
We
used to.
over here start selling ownership and.
But we do have a bit
Says
more
about it.
potential for,
And
Yeah.
And Monday through Friday, 8 to 4.
Yeah, and also, you know, the guy next to you is gonna last more than 6 days and things like that.
And in the course of 3-4 years, we could have someone up to assessor, state certified assessor status.
Yeah,
And if they're not, you're just gonna stick around.
Well, the personal services.
Yeah, right.
it'd go under contractual.
So you're looking this year, so then we're 2 years out, that's when you're gonna really start to
Yeah,
get aggressive with it, is that what I'm hearing?
I worked for state entities previous to even work for what became DTF. Professional ski patrol and stuff like that, so I just filed and had all that time put together and see how much it would cost to buy back the return I didn't pay back then.
Mhm.
But since I was making pennies back then, it'd be cheap to buy all these hours.
Yep.
Then I'll give closer answers on them.
Fair enough.
looks good to me.
Yep. Yeah.
Shall I go ask if Darcy's ready to come down?
Sure.
Sure.
Let me have,
I'm walking by her office.
Okay.
thanks.
Thank you guys.
What page is Darcy on? Just 14?
14 and 15. Usually get on
Maybe you
14.
nailed one there.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice. Question for Darcy. When she comes
She's
down
not
here.
She's not here. I would wait till she's
Yeah,
here.
I said,
When she comes down. Say that.
Are you gonna tell us what the question is or no?
well, I don't think you really wanna know.
Not really, but yeah.
Well, because
Build up the
we-
anticipation.
Yeah.
it's all regarding the agreements they have for their software. They used to have BAS, which became Edmunds GovTech. And we've paid a whole year of support, and I'm wondering if they've used that software at all. Like
Okay.
it never got canceled.
Oh,
We didn't get refunded for it. Like it's paid through January of next year. So that's the question I have for her.
so why, then my question, why
hasn't-
wasn't it canceled?
Exactly, that's my question.
That's your question, okay.
Because I
question.
don't know if she's even aware of it, and the other question that would piggyback off of that is. They do have a computer that they were using as the server for that BAS program. And the only thing that ever resided on it was the data. So that might be a computer that can be wiped and resurfaced and used. For
Should-
say, a new employee or
Right.
something.
Should we unmute Grace so she understands this is just a work session? She's certainly welcome to listen, cause I didn't know
I
if
can
she.
hear you.
You can hear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we just muted us.
Yeah, there was background noise on her end, so. we
Okay.
could hear.
Here we go.
Hey Darcy.
Hello.
And
Hi David.
Oh, let me move it around.
that's a good thing. It's a good
Everyone
thing.
needs support.
That's right.
Before we start, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
When did your office stop using the VAS program?
Well,
Technically, still.
yeah.
You are still using it? Okay.
Yeah, but right, we're only paying for.
You have a support
Support. But
through the end of January of next year, so, all right,
you mean January 25 or?
yes. Because they bill it a year
A year in advance.
upfront. And it's been paid in full, so I just wanted to make sure, so it's still in use, you're still using it,
Only to look back at old things that have been
Okay.
issued,
okay.
but
But
as
only-
far as
Only
current
Grace and
stuff.
Darcy have access to it.
Is there a plan to stop using it at some point in the near future?
We have stopped since we started on Cloud Permit, we do not use BAS only to see what was existing.
So should we cancel the support?
I would say
for that?
so,
Because you're
Like
always gonna be able
effective-
to access it, but you're not gonna need support.
Right.
correct.
Okay.
So,
Unless we backed up the data in case something happens to it, so we
Yeah,
don't
we'll
need
have to
support.
just like check on that
so
and
if
see
you could
what
just
the-
have somebody in your
Yeah.
office check into
Yes.
that, because right now it's not, see, the reason I ask is because we did not budget for that
Yeah,
for this year. Because of
oh,
transitioning to Cloud Permit and the other program. And so that line is actually over budget right now in the department. But it's not their fault, it's my fault. Cause I didn't know.
Ken, how much was that one, do we know?
So, it was about $2,600
Hmm,
for a year.
yeah. Yeah, that should go.
Okay. Alright,
And the chairs you're getting for $300, don't you like these guys? Jeez, $150 a piece.
I think nothing, very victim.
yeah, I just go by what they
I
tell me.
know, that's why I asked them.
I mean,
We should
it's
see what they're
yours.
sitting in, but I don't know.
Well, your $150 isn't gonna get you much.
No.
Oh, well, I don't, okay. He
Anyhow.
what he fixed.
The tablet for assisting the public, I think that's a great idea,
Yeah,
but considering how many times I hear people come in and go,
Yes.
I can't. And Britt's like, do this, if she had a tablet, and that's the idea,
That's
right?
exactly
You
what
take the
it
tablet and
is.
be like.
Because we have an
Yes.
old tablet, but it doesn't hold a charge.
right. So,
That's exactly why.
and not,
Yeah.
not just Brit, I mean, Barry does it,
And it can bring it to
You
the review
have-
board meetings.
Yeah.
and pull the whole file through.
and, you know, we could put that in there as a number, but we're hoping that, as a municipality, there's probably some better deal. But we just kind of,
Well, we have a government account with Verizon and my preference, not knowing what the prices would be to just get it. An iPad through Verizon, but
Yep.
the problem with that, and I don't know if this is the case with any other service provider. If you get a iPad through Verizon, you have to get a cell number associated with it and pay for that long,
Yeah,
so.
which you don't need.
We don't do that.
Right.
wait,
versus
wait,
Wi-Fi.
how
I
about,
think so.
how about with the new
Cell number.
STR hotline phone? Cause that, could that
could have maybe them tied together, I don't know. I mean, it's something that we'll have to
So you
explore.
can get an Apple Watch, but you don't have you don't need.
So
Right.
I had an Apple Watch, it had a separate line. You have to pay for the separate
You
line,
have to pay for the service,
right,
'Cause
but you
that's
can
how it
have
connects
it,
to
but
the-
you can have it tied together on the same phone number as your phone.
Yeah, you
but it's
don't,
not necessary. I think in order for
Right.
it to operate independent of your phone, you need it to have the ability to connect to the
Right,
internet.
yeah.
immediately.
So I don't know if there are other tablets that would serve the purpose that they want, if it only works off of Wi-Fi. That would be my only,
Do you plan to carry it off site?
No,
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 it's
just
really
Wi-Fi
for
is
the
fine,
office.
it's just the same.
I just don't know if, like, say if you were to go get a Samsung tablet or any other tablet besides a iPad,
I
how
think-
that works.
I think that price was something that Barry had found in a Kindle, and a Fire.
Yeah, I don't think that's an iPad price.
No, no, I'm not saying,
Well,
because all we need is, we
750.
literally just needed to access the internet to pull up the ClockworkNet website.
Yeah, I don't think we need
Is
an
this,
iPad.
is this the seven
50,
fifty?
yeah.
Yeah.
Cause you can get almost like an iPad Pro for like $1,000, which is like essentially a computer
Yeah,
in a tablet form.
And then I guess
Or you
the
can-
other,
But if you're looking at a bigger one, it'd only be about.
yeah, how big of a
$350
tablet do you
maybe.
want? Cause they have different sizes.
like maybe a 10-inch screen.
Right.
It just needs an access to the internet.
You don't wanna get it antiquated in 2 years either, so.
can you do that? Everything's, everything's.
Well, we wanna try, you can stretch it to about 5 or 6 years, but.
Who are you calling antiquated?
Myself, remember, you are older than I am,
Yeah. 2 months?
2 months,
4 weeks, 3 weeks,
Yeah.
3 weeks,
that's a big 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay,
Partition for Brit, what does that mean? She's not like. She's not
No.
cutting herself off, or she.
So we put it in there, it's a question, you know, how, so if we like the desks. Jen in the court is getting a desk, and so she's the one that had said, hey, here's what I got or will be getting. So we kind of use that, we like the idea of the standing desk, I mean, right, Rose has one, so. We wanna see what Jen gets before we commit to, this is what we really want. We're not 100% sure, but if it works, so then she's saying, I don't wanna be. Standing at my desk and having everyone looking in, so just like the partition wall.
So it would just stand
Like-
separate from the
Yes,
desk in
yeah,
front
like in
the
front of
desk.
my desk, just so she has some privacy.
So
So,
people aren't seeing
Again.
her feet or her
Yeah.
bare legs if she wears a
Yeah.
short.
Or-
That's
yeah.
exactly what she wants.
Yeah,
and
look at this crap
and
you started with desks, you started.
mine's not a standing desk.
No, you desk, period.
Gold inlay.
Yeah, golden, the Resolute desk.
Yeah.
Even in my office, have you noticed that that big desk I have is still not big enough?
and it's full. Yeah.
I have two other tables
All I can
behind
say is,
it
make it do, make it work.
we
for
don't
3 years and then
It
I'm
worked.
gone.
need more desk space, we need more shelving, right? It's gotta go up. This is where yeah, where was it? Okay. Gotta be more efficient,
Less paper, right?
up less, whatever. So that's what we thought for equipment, right?
All right, so that's where I said the computers on 9.2 under her equipment there, it says computers in 1610-200.
Mhm.
That's where I put a budget for, I believe, 5 computers, so it would be. I think there's 2 in your office that are due to be replaced,
Probably,
mine's due to be replaced.
You and Brad. you and Brad.
Todd's. Derek says he's okay, I mean, I think 5 is pushing it, but I mean,
Unless it's. Yes.
I would rather not wait until somebody's computer dies. You know,
Well, we talked about this
like-
before, do we have a spare laptop?
Yeah, I thought
laptop?
There is
There's
a,
one spare.
there's one, I have a
Brand new
spare,
though.
brand new
Yeah,
in my,
what the-
I'm sitting in my office,
thought.
but it is like the size of this,
Yeah.
it's a small laptop, nobody's gonna wanna ever have to work on it for any length of time.
It's fine, it's just meant as a backup.
Yeah, that's all it is.
But it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe think about using that laptop for the, instead of the tablet, because we have it, number one, it
Mhm.
works on Wi-Fi,
Yeah, but however,
it's a computer.
but if we do that, we gotta replace that anyway. Just to back up.
Yeah, but
And if Todd hires somebody, that computer will go in there.
it's just something to think about.
We still have
It's
to, we
there.
still have to buy
Still
something.
gotta buy.
Buy something.
Right, but I mean, I think
How much
that
did we spend for that backup?
that laptop, I was,
Ballpark.
no, it was more than that, I think it was like 1,100.
For something that small.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
computers are expensive.
So we're better off with we're better off with just to get the tablet for $750.
Possibly if the tablet.
Plus, I mean, plus-
The tablet's only gonna have that one function.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
Right.
plus, I mean, we see them use more and more, the consumer comes in and they just gotta hold a tablet. You
Mhm.
don't have to hold a laptop or put
Sure.
it down,
Okay,
just
just,
a
it was
tablet.
just a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you have on your contracts and agreements, discussing getting rid of GovOS or what we call mini roads in my office, cause that's.
Yes,
And possibly going to cloud permit
Cloud
for
permit. yeah,
the SPRs, right?
yes,
And the cost is about equal?
No,
It's a cost saving.
the cost would be less in the long run for this one initial startup. There's a fee for transferring all of that data and what are they calling it, a setup fee?
Yeah, what was that fee?
So the 27.5 did not include the startup fee?
It does include it.
Oh, it does,
Yeah,
so it'll be
yeah.
less than that
Yes.
going forward, I
Yes,
gotcha.
yes,
Okay.
The
yes.
addition per year after that, it's like less than 3,000.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
it's really.
Oh, wow.
I think that's because we already have all our other stuff.
Do they do financial management software? Payroll?
I think we might be a little late on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my point is, I mean, so if we keep the budget the same, depending on how much and the startup is, we're okay.
Mhm.
And then just reduce it next year,
Yeah, cause this wouldn't happen until January.
Mhm.
right?
We're not done yet. I got an item, but I'll wait till we work our way through the numbers.
Are we doing the cell phone thing? Is that
The cell phone?
for the?
So,
For the.
I mean, I'm in favor of
so
it,
Darcy's got a cell phone that's due to be upgraded.
yeah, but it's not hers we're talking about. Hers is fine, as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
But it's
so
new.
we're gonna
It's
get,
done.
if we get her a new one with a new line. And then upgrade the other one, that'll be 2 new phones.
Right, what you've got on here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, and as to Jason's point, do we wanna do that?
Cause that was discussed initially.
Right, I
But
mean,
we
I,
never really
we
finalized
never
that.
really said, let's do it or not.
So that has some implications about how we're gonna move forward with.
Yeah,
Providing a line.
what's the compensation for it?
Yeah, it changes
Yeah.
personal services, sure.
Which we don't.
She answers, oh, does she get 2 hours pay?
No,
No,
she
she
gets
suggested $25
$25
for every call.
For every call?
Yeah.
every call.
What if she gets 5 calls in 1 hour?
She might. if
Yeah,
she was-
I think that's.
So
a
then you
reasonable
pay her
compensation.
125 in the
She's
middle of the
willing to
night,
swing it.
and this all wakes me up. I would want it, just.
Again, just reminding that we are recording the reporters.
I think it's personally a great idea, personal.
All of a sudden, both of them start calling.
No, I think it's a good idea. Because if you base it off the number of calls we indeed have had, it's not a bad deal to me. I don't know the exact numbers, but
She'll keep a log, I take it.
Well, I get, it would, I'm
Absolutely.
assuming it would be on our Verizon bill, I get
Yeah, so we can
all of that,
We can
it's like
verify it.
throw it out.
50
after the
pages
year.
long every month.
It's a
These calls
starting
listed
point
on
to
it.
assess the system.
yeah. So, I mean, so we have, I mean, I'm in favor of it, so,
Yes.
but we do have to do something with, other than the phone.
It's just following year to year.
Yeah.
Yep. So. I'd like to bring up. The septic law
Mhm.
and with the letter that went out,
Yep,
we need to also address inspections. And. I don't wanna ever insinuate that you guys don't have a level of knowledge of septic. But if we're gonna do something to the law, I think contractually, we should have somebody that has a degree of in that field,
Yeah,
To give us-
that's an engineer.
exactly,
Absolutely.
which I don't see anywhere in here for like a contract to let someone do these inspections for us. And maybe we limit it to a dozen a summer. I don't care what it is.
Mhm.
But you know, we've set the stage now with this letter to shore owners that says, this is for real. And you're gonna act to it. So there's a degree that we have to stay in gear. And that's,
Yeah,
Move
what's so
on.
funny is I remember talking about this years ago and we were gonna use art. I feel like we actually like had a funding source.
But, okay, if we're gonna do inspections. I'm trying to get this in the right, clear mind. We're gonna require them to have an inspection,
It says, it
Periodically.
already says that we have the right to inspect, I said that right,
yeah,
and that it's supposed to be inspected every 3 years if it's full-time, every 5 if it's seasonal. So all these, we already have in the existing law. Everything that we need to go on the property and say, hey, you were randomly selected for an inspection this year, did I say that right? Without Mark here to say.
Think so.
Seems pretty accurate.
But that doesn't include the language that will be recommended, that it seemed the board was
That's
amenable.
that's 2 tweaks,
That could trigger.
and Tim Smith is just working on that.
But wouldn't the homeowner assume
thank
responsibility
you, that's where I was
for,
going with it.
for a pre-sale inspection? I mean, we're not.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
But this would be outside of the sale,
Well, right, but that's already in the law, correct?
right.
the sale.
No, it's
For
the
inspection.
the inspections. the
see, that's the thing,
4-year and
is there
5-year.
some way we can tweak it? To say every, whatever, periodically. You're required to do this,
It might say it.
so therefore we could put the expense on the homeowner.
I think
landowner.
it says that already.
See, that's what I mean, that's where I was going with it, you know, I mean,
I think it
Just
does
saying,
say
we shouldn't be
responsibility
paying
of
for it, is what you're
property
saying.
owner.
we should do, you know, it shouldn't be on us. I mean, it's one thing to have somebody on the payroll to go out and do it.
But then we recover money through a fee. Is that what you're saying?
No, he's saying they
No.
should
No.
pay for the owner.
The owner should pay for it.
We could coordinate it with our annual pump out and say there'll be an engineer on the.
Yeah, if you
So-
would like to contract with
Right,
this engineer.
right. We require it to be inspected, your septic system inspected. Therefore, we will. Pardon me, because I'm, trying to come up with it as we're speaking. Thinking about it. We'll require inspections every, whatever that period is. And it is, the onus is on the homeowner, landowner, to provide a certificate saying that you hired somebody from our list, let's say. Like I said, I'm doing this off the top of my head.
Okay, but
Yeah.
to add to that, what if we said we select 10 properties every year, 15 properties, and we say you have to have an inspection? And if you don't, we're gonna hire someone for you
Mhm.
and bill you,
Yes,
And then we'd have a rotating schedule,
yeah.
But
right.
identifying those, and then you're good for the next 5
my
years.
only concern is that if we do something like what Emily just mentioned. I don't know how much these inspections will cost, but let's say it's $2,000.
No, I
And
don't
we
see it.
pay
No,
for it
I don't see
upfront
that.
and bill it back to the homeowner. There's no guarantee that homeowner will pay that bill to
True,
us.
true, that's why
And we
no,
can't recover that money if
I
it's not
see,
paid.
I see Emily's point, but that's it.
Couldn't we
It's
put it
like when
on
they
to-
used to do, pump outs. When they used to do pump outs, over the summer, and go out on the barge. The shore owners did not pay for it, or neither did the town. The individual was billed, and 50% of the time, they never got their money.
Right.
So then.
Do you
we-
want
I
me to run
guess
and
I-
get the law so we can answer that question?
No, I think we need more of an attorney to answer the question.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm also saying is I don't necessarily care if we get the money back, because if someone is refusing to get an inspection and we hire someone to do the inspection,
It's
there's
fine.
obviously a freaking reason
Right.
why
Yeah.
you're not doing the inspection.
Right,
That's
then
where
it
the fine-
becomes a
that's where the
violation.
fine
Yeah,
comes in,
and so
not
then maybe we recover it through the fine, like, I don't really care about not getting paid back, the only thing I would hate to happen is that every store owner is like, well, the town's gonna pay for it, so
Right,
we're just
right.
gonna
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
word gets
We'll get
out.
every, yeah, and the thing is, we don't, and we start on a rotating basis, somebody may go by the numbers, maybe 8 years before they require it.
But if they don't,
Because if we're gonna start, in 2025, fine, we had 10 landowners or something, or 15 or something like that. Then it's gonna have to go out and it'll be a cycle into it, eventually it will.
but does a fine, like I say, if we implement that rotation and they don't have it done, but we don't have language in the law saying that we can find them that they haven't been inspected, correct? Only-
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that says it.
It's the same level as.
Yeah,
they're
if
being
they
corrected.
refuse, if their system fails.
That's what I heard is the
It says-
fails, but if it's not fail, it's just failure to have it inspected, I don't,
Hmm,
so that would be something that we might need to amend as well to ensure
Maybe.
that.
Probably.
So do
So
we
the-
not need to add money to
I don't
professional
want to,
services?
I want the landowner to pay for it.
I think maybe it's a longer, maybe more in-depth discussion.
Not something that we need to put money in the
No, we
budget
don't.
for, though.
That's
Well,
good.
put it this way, if it's about money, without giving you itemized, I have $20,000 available through ARPA funds.
To jumpstart it.
But you see, this year we have to, I don't wanna get off topic, but we have to confirm our list
Yeah, it has
of
to be,
next year.
expenditures.
But
set- it
next year.
has to be, again, this year, it
Oh,
has
it's
to
always
be,
25. I don't
it
think.
has to be
Have
set,
to be spent by the end of next year.
it has to be.
Okay, that's maybe where I
You
got it.
doubt we'll find a place for it.
No, but it has to be.
Sorry, burning a hole.
Like, If
20 grand, no
someone come
problem.
back to us and say, okay, where are you using the money at?
Correct.
We had to say, this is this is it, final list, this is it. And what doesn't get spent goes back.
Does profit sharing count?
I'll have to take that off your hands.
I know.
That's what I'm going for, profit sharing.
Things septic wise, so if we, in the past, right, have been paying for the barge,
Yeah,
next year might be more days, we're hoping,
right,
of the barge.
exactly.
So it could, be 5 days as opposed to 1.
That's an olive branch worth. offering.
Do we need the barges to inspections?
No,
Just. on-
Just pump outs.
Just pumps.
But you see, we can mandate inspections at pump outs like we have been doing.
Right.
It's just that our pump out customers tend to be the same.
Mhm.
Of course.
yeah,
Yes.
so they know what they're. Yeah, I want mine done.
But we could send an assessment up with the pontoon boat,
Right.
Yes, we
an
could do
engineer,
Absolutely.
right, to
Yeah.
save on the barge costs.
We're really hoping for more pump outs, so
You won't get them.
And maybe the inspection.
You won't get them. I mean, on a volunteer basis.
we're gonna do. We're already on it.
Okay.
We've gotten so many calls, we were saying, sign up for
When
next
they
year.
hear about $9.50 the first day, isn't
Yeah.
that what it is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's per week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But-
not 50 a week, yeah.
okay, so at least there's money available, we'll work out the incidentals on who pays. I love the way you're thinking, I just don't know if it's possible.
Well, I think if we get the wording correctly, I think we got it.
Yeah,
That's the thing, because, I mean.
I do think it's important this year to start saying like, hey, you've been randomly selected
Oh, yeah.
because like it's not even randomly. We chose the
We're
ones
gonna
that
do it.
haven't been inspected or pumped out in the longest amount of time,
That's right.
and you're one of them.
Yep.
So we're coming to look at you have to have an
I think the
inspection, you
law
have to
was
have certification.
2016.
Send us something that says it was
Yeah, because I
inspected.
mean, we know.
19.
Yeah, because we know, obviously, every year, in the past 5 years, who's been pumped. And.
And you have those records,
We do.
and we do have the language to back up the
Yeah.
Yes.
requirement.
Yeah, so it's, like you said, it's not random.
Some are pumping elsewhere, I think.
Oh, yeah. You wanna see pictures?
explain the planning forum, I should know what that is, 8 to 10 registrants? Third from the bottom.
So that would be for your joint review board or your Board of Appeals.
ZBA, yeah.
ZBA, for training, you know, all the volunteers,
Okay,
cause they do that, what, every couple of years-ish?
They should
4
be
hours.
doing it every year.
Okay.
We've got a separate one for ZBA.
what do we do? Train them not to meet?
Yeah. Turn in the.
Just the ZBA.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's the lower number.
Cancel.
Now, so this is information, when you see things like that under those dues and fees, that's me putting that in there, that's not Darcy.
Right,
Okay.
Alright, I go back into the history of what we've paid to certain organizations for
And
certain
follow it,
things,
that's
and-
right.
And I try to guess, you know,
Well,
I
Darcy,
can't reach out
is
to
that
every
appropriate,
vendor and
Darcy?
say, what's your fee?
$1,200 for training,
It's
basically?
unrealistic,
Right.
I
Okay.
can estimate.
but it keeps it relative.
Another 3.25.
We try, yeah, we
That's yours.
And it's hard to get them all to actually sign up for them.
Right.
Why is there a second line for personal services? Like there's one
The zoning, the 80-20-101 at the bottom, that's Tim Smith. He's always been on a separate line, so.
Okay.
I figured just leave him be. And it was,
New addition.
so it was higher prior to that, because it also included Bill Kissel at that point,
Mm.
but now it's just Tim.
So just circling back, are we doing the cell phone?
Yeah.
Are we agreeing to the cost so we can start, because we only have 2 months until we start transitioning over.
Right, and I think you collectively designed the system, let's
I'm in favor of it,
Let's-
obviously.
test it,
Yeah, let's go with the,
especially if they're in agreement.
Meaning what, that you wanna get it started this year,
Oh, yeah,
order it
Well,
like tomorrow, and get it
Then we'll have
started?
it both running simultaneously so that we can transition people off the hotline.
All
We're
right.
not that much work.
but if you get it this year. It's not this year's budget.
Alright, well,
I mean.
it still has to be, it
Right.
still has to be, you
Right.
know, the line and stuff,
do
but.
it years to just make their own.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, is there, does your department have the money to pay for the cell phone? Starting now.
budget.
Right,
Well, it would require a budget amendment to buy the cell phone this year.
If they have
Okay.
it. But then they would just align for just the fee. If you're the.
It would just be another line,
Right.
probably it would just be another phone line.
So I've got a flip phone in my basement.
And we only,
We don't wanna talk about extracurricular activities.
and it is not a lot.
It's just, mine won't, mine stays right there.
$5.
You're underground.
It's flat.
So
You're
it's
underground
not,
pickleball club.
I
So
feel
just-
like we need it now.
I mean, that's up to you
I mean, I
guys.
feel like the end of the year, when we transition, I mean, we're already paying for the GovOS and that hotline. So when we stop paying for that, I mean, I think that's when we would need, hey, here's the new number
Yeah, as
to
of
call.
January 5th or something.
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Is that what we want to do? Because we talked about overlapping them. I know there could be confusion, but you said the line was used minimally.
Yeah, I understand the benefit of, you know, having them running together, but at the same time, maybe that's more confusion because there's two numbers.
Right.
involved.
Who do you
Who do
call?
you call?
But then maybe,
Buster.
no, it's just maybe we said.
I'm sorry, I had to say
We
it.
noticed an announcement like in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I
Transition.
think there's definitely gonna have to be like a PR campaign.
Oh, yeah.
or-
Don't call me, that's all I ask, is don't call me.
Yeah, and if we didn't do that, we'd wanna do that for January, and if we didn't do that, till then, confusion.
I just, yeah, I think the thing that we could work out maybe some of the bumps prior to January 1st, but 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I think on January.
So, having said all that. I will probably have to increase the budget for the phone line enough to cover the extra line for the hotline. I'm not sure about the tablet, we won't know about that until we actually figure out what kind of tablet you guys want and
Mhm.
whether or not you need a
Right.
phone line for it. So.
Well, I think
just so you
that
know.
would, like I said, I think that would come off. That would just be like off the service of a new phone, which Darcy, you're getting one. So you just tie it to that,
Yeah,
cause it's Wi-Fi.
If we get it from Verizon, you will have to pay for a phone
Well,
line.
yeah, that's great for
You have
additional
to.
line.
It
They
doesn't
have-
lie.
Number,
They do
it just-
not,
That's why it connects. to the
Yeah,
pictures.
That's right,
yeah.
okay.
but if they were to go,
Video when you go.
if you were to go to like Best Buy or Walmart or someplace
Kindle
and buy
would
an
work,
off-brand tablet that would work, you might be able to do that just on Wi-Fi.
Yes.
But if you
Okay.
get an iPad,
No,
Apple requires service, a cell phone line, and Verizon requires a cell phone line, so
I mean,
I think
it
okay,
depends on what you
Kindle
get.
that connects to
I
Wi-Fi.
think it's all,
Simple or
With the downtime, play games.
we don't do that, we don't have
I
time.
listen, I mean,
no, if you're,
No.
and I
And our
understand,
downtime,
if
she's
you're,
on
if you're
looking at
100%.
STR
if you're
listings.
100%,
That's
and
right.
it's Wi-Fi,
So I'm gonna add, I am gonna add one phone line to the phone for the STR
For
phone.
the STR.
PSTR phone, yes.
So that's like 25 times 12. $400? Did I do that right? No, $300. I can't do math.
Give yourself another. How easy is it to shut lines down and start them back up again?
You mean like seasonal suspend? It used to be very easy, we did it for Blackfly. But they don't even use our cell phones anymore, they all use their own cell phones.
Yeah.
So,
I'm asking for toboggan chute and we're paying year round for toboggan chute.
oh, that's not a
year-round
cell
for-
phone, that's
Oh, I
an
know.
actual phone
Right.
phone.
But can't you do season?
No idea.
Well, there was also, I asked this one time at budget season, cause we also pay year round for the dish service at Craigwood. Which is like kind of expensive, I'm like, shut it off, but then when we went to look at it, Scott was like,
Fee.
yeah, no, there was fees for like turning it off, and
And
it
then
didn't make
we-
sense. And then also Scott was like, well, I'm gonna do wing night during
With
the,
football game.
yeah, or something, so we said, fine, just keep it.
And now Chris doesn't even use it, cause he'll be upstairs.
You know, Dish doesn't even do Sunday Night on Network, you just YouTube TV or.
That's right,
you just
yeah.
stream it.
Stream it.
Do we, well, when we get to Craigwood, let's look at that.
So, just as an aside, I am supposed to have a phone call on Thursday, tomorrow, with Spectrum to see about if they can look at our services and see if they can save us any money or.
Get the toboggan chute. try to-
No, I know what it is it's a sales service, they're gonna wanna try to sell us on five.
Well, that's it.
Oh, sure.
I tried to cancel my landline 2 months ago.
Oh my goodness.
And it was gonna raise, by canceling my landline, it was gonna raise my bill $20.
Mhm.
Yeah, this.
It
Like
is
your
the
phone.
most painful experience calling Spectrum. But it's just absolutely just baffling. It's just easier to go to Saranac Lake.
It is,
and talk
it's
to them
much
out
easier,
there,
yep,
And they'll just give it to you straight and you can.
and they'll tell you right over there, don't call the number, come over here.
I called and I'm like, I would like the Yes Network. What is the Yes Network? I'm like, are you joking? Like Yankee? Yeah, teams, but like, where the Yankees play? I don't see a listing, like. Right, I'm gonna call back at some other time. Like,
Did you get a single?
well, I went to Saranac Lake.
Did they add it on single?
No, they added something else in MLB Network and it was $50 to $75 cheaper than what they're gonna say on that.
Okay. Cause I tried to go down a little, I tried to go down a level, which took the yes off, but the only way I could get it, again, calling, was to go back up that level.
Even if you go down, you're going back up again
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's my point.
every month.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright.
We forget it,
So I caution you.
So going back to the chairs, you think 300's enough for one chair, or should I double that, give
I
me two?
found one online that was $35,000, I can get.
I can get massaged all day.
You can hire somebody.
Hire your personal masseuse, it's gonna be less expensive.
We love the enthusiasm.
Kathy, do you know, I had Central Garage say, we need new tires, is that something that is been budgeted? I don't,
Did you tell me that you needed new tires?
I don't even know that we have.
We have
the car
1,500.
is even in this.
It's under the equipment, it would be part of the equipment repairs and maintenance, so that would be the vehicle, it would be equipment in your office, it would be
Oh, so
So
Shouldn't that be automated as far as like maybe switching them over to winter tires and then just,
I don't drive their vehicle, I don't know what they need.
or
You
just for
guys
safety?
do. You've driven
um,
that vehicle in the winter a couple years, right?
it's now what, 5 or is it gonna be 6 years
No,
old?
it can't be. It can't be. We just, it's
5.
a
No, it's not.
lease.
It's at least 5. No, we bought it
Oh,
now.
that's right, we did
So
buy
they
it
did-
out.
I think
That's
it's
right,
four,
we
They did the
did.
inspection.
We had a 3 and I think then we did buy it, it's no more than 5.
So you've not,
Yeah, I'm gonna say 5.
you've never had new tires put on?
No.
No,
Oh
they
my
wouldn't.
gosh, you must have really good tires.
Well, we don't now.
I think they did.
You have in the past, in the wintertime, have you had problems getting to any place or anything?
Yeah. The last year we did.
So my point is, if
I think
that's
their
the
tire
case, like
changes
Jason said,
now. I think it is.
because they were gonna keep it for a while, get winter tires,
So we can
get 2
just
sets
buy
of
them.
tires.
Mm.
I mean, if if they say you need them, get winter tires
Yeah.
now, and then in spring, get all weather.
Cause we'd rather have paying for extra tires, from my perspective, than
I can
some sort of
add,
accident report.
I'll add
What day it
$1,000
gets
to
snow.
1,500 for tires.
But
But like Dave said, if you get winters,
Like Rick was
Yeah.
just saying, we could just buy the
Okay.
tires and Kenny
Yeah, they
can
can-
put on.
Oh, yeah, cause he bought that machine.
Yeah,
Oh,
So we do
well,
it in-house.
that works too.
yeah.
And the thing is,
But then you can-
well, you could probably, well, I don't know.
Yeah, but so are we gonna make her wait until January to get tires?
Oh, no.
get winter tires now, we'll
Yeah.
put money into budget next year for new summer tires.
Yeah.
And then they can switch them
Why,
back
aren't
and
you gonna
forth.
buy all season radios?
We were just gonna buy all seasons again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
But no, but that's the point, she says, last year they had some
Yeah,
problems.
but the tires were probably going bad last year, you
I don't
know
know.
what I mean? We just have a little sand in the back and
Okay,
we're fine.
yeah, okay.
Just as long as you're like, oh, we couldn't do it, 'cause
so do you
then-
want me to put money in for tires for next year or no?
No, I think it's a budget adjustment for this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So
ask
then-
Kenny to buy them
Mhm.
and then.
This is my question, so Kenny can buy them and install
They'll
them?
probably order them off of
but
Walmart
then
I mean, say please.
or Warren.
I will.
No, you don't want it from Warren. Thank you.
I get my tires from Warren, I don't know what to do with them.
There's a lot less expensive out there than Warren.
Well,
I
they
mean,
store my tires for me.
Yeah.
yeah, they do.
So,
The commercial ones, yes, Warren, because they got the equipment and everything,
Yeah.
but just regular passenger,
yeah, they have,
Never bought a tire.
never?
you're like my husband, when the tires go
That's my
bad, it's
father's.
time for a new vehicle.
Wow, yeah, you're gonna know one person here. I don't know what an old car feels like.
Once the smell's gone.
My-
It's that boy.
You know what that's not, it's time for a new car.
Alright.
Good.
How about windshield wipers? Can Kenny do that too?
I can do that.
Yeah, we all.
Order.
Just go to Rock Auto and order.
Yeah, but I'm
Just
assuming
get
Kenny
those.
has an account.
This is what I'm thinking.
Rock Auto.
Well, yeah, but-
Order the price.
He'll order them, but
I-
it'll
I got
still go
some-
into your budget.
The discount.
Get the windshield wiper too, fluid wire, so.
Okay, anything else?
$18 per pair, and you get them in 2 days, Rock Auto.
Wow.
For what, windshield wiper?
Yeah, windshield wipers, Rock Auto.
Unless you own a Subaru, you have to buy them through Subaru.
Why?
Wipers?
Trying
Yeah,
Audi,
Walmart.
Audi's even bigger pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But I really wanna get rid of it, because anytime something happens to it, it has to be like shipped to Albany,
What are you getting rid of?
the Audi.
No kidding.
No, we're not, I
Same
want
thing.
to.
Stop.
We have, I have
License
Audis
agreements.
also,
Yeah,
but, yeah, no, you can go to Walmart and buy wipers at Walmart for a Subaru.
Not mine.
You have the wrong.
I tried.
What do you drive?
Since
2024. Outback.
And how, oh.
Now
I
check,
was very
check
curious
this
about.
out. So Darcy, look at Rock Auto,
I just talked about
Yeah,
it.
so-
So we're
RZK
good done?
Auto.
Good job,
We're done?
good
Yeah,
budget, that's
thank
2 in
you.
a row.
Look at that, she's
We're on a
saving
roll.
money, saving money, wait till you get to mine, oh boy.
There'll be no money left.
There won't be any money left.
Like the new system for complaints.
I mean, no,
Yes.
35,000.
You can go sit.
Like we all should go on a field trip.
Massage therapy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, David, get that assessment on massage therapy.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
well, do you wanna continue or do you wanna break before you have your 5 o'clock meeting.
No. I don't need a break, but that's.
Oh,
Speak
well,
for
then
myself.
let's go look at mine.
Listen, I've got them broke in for like 3.5, 4 hour meetings.
We won't say the meeting we had when you were here, if you want to talk about that.
Why was it 17 minutes or something?
We measured it in minutes, not hours.
Alright, so my department is
0 and 4.
on page 4, and it is all on one page.
Wow.
Page
What is
4,
it?
page 4,
Todd, huh?
right above Todd, yep.
Todd chair.
Last that one.
Okay,
I just go right to the bottom line.
So actually, see, look at, I found something already, I can save $1,200 because I put a new computer in there. We'll move it out and put it with the other ones.
Good. Done. It's really not saving it.
No, I know, no, but I think it's a double entry is what I'm saying, so I'll take that out.
Can you say the lines for me?
Can I say the lines?
Well, the budget line, the numbers, whatever you want. Oh, moving forward.
Please repeat that request, I don't
Oh,
understand.
so as you're like, oh, the 12, you
computer.
you put numbers on, instead of saying, oh,
Sorry.
say.
Okay, I apologize.
Something like that.
I'm, okay, yeah, so personal services, the first line is personal services, the 159,544 is Rose and myself.
and those are at 3% as well.
Everything's 3%, yeah, when you guys get further into the next tab, the next section is the wages, and when you get in there, you'll have this beautiful long spreadsheet. It has all of the wages.
Usual.
Okay.
And this is split 50/50.
That was a good one.
We've already got 5.
Rose would love that, she would,
Let's do it.
Supplies, consumables,
Yeah, what's
$1,500.
413.
What?
See? See what we're talking about?
The amounts.
We got it, we got it. Yeah, what's,
1,500.
what, yeah.
Yeah, so most of that would be the binders, these binders that you guys have, I have to buy these
I'll
for
bring it back.
the employee.
We will bring it back.
Well,
I'll bring all the old ones back.
please do,
No,
if they're in
that's
good
fine.
condition. Because I use these for employee binders, when we hire new people, I have to fill these up and hand them out and I never get them back.
What's wrong with rubber bands?
Yeah, and staples, paper clips, tape, push
Okay.
pins,
$700 worth?
a lot. And also payroll checks, usually, sometimes I put them in there, sometimes I don't, depends on what I feel like.
We say
Well-
anything with paychecks? Over,
I'm gonna reserve
Correct.
judgment on that.
okay.
Still 2 million.
Yeah, I shouldn't have asked. I should have waited for at least 2 more payroll. periods.
Yeah, right.
So, no, we will save money with paychecks.
So
No doubt,
what we
but
discussed the other day,
It's stressful.
how much would we save if we go to direct deposit only? Approximately.
Not,
But you still print a check,
We-
it just says,
No,
no,
you don't
no.
check.
we
doesn't it say,
will,
just say void?
we
No.
will not.
What is my thing?
So-
What am I
No, the point is, you don't get anything. You
I,
don't get anything.
if I had, if
It's
everybody was on direct deposit, I would not have to buy stock, check stock anymore for payroll.
That's what I mean.
So that would save us a couple $100 every couple of years. What it would save is the headache of having to
Switch back.
to issue the checks. When they don't get cashed, go to the bank and say, which by the way, you have an outstanding check for March.
Why did I get a check?
A reimbursement is a pink one, not a blue one,
You
but-
lost that. You know, She doesn't know
So-
what it is.
And there's a story about Roby I can tell you, but anyway, going back to the check stuff, so the biggest issue I have with payroll checks is the kids, the summer kids who don't cash them. And then I have to void them and reissue them,
See, yeah, see,
Or-
that's why.
I have, or they get lost and I have to do a stop payment and whatever, it's just, it's a, It's
I
a-
think
it's
it's very
aggravation.
reasonable to require that everyone be,
Yes.
like, can you can't even be like a new hire anywhere and have,
I know.
get checks, like,
Right.
so I think it's reasonable to make
And-
everyone
and-
move
and-
to direct deposit.
And the point is, no more printing stubs either.
Right, well, so yeah.
That's what I was,
But if
because
I
I think I
had
always gotta
to,
avoid and.
I
For me,
could
that was
print
always
stubs,
easy.
I print stubs on plain copy paper.
But I don't care, don't print them. If you want, like if I wanna see
you
one
have
at
a
work,
detailed
if I wanna
visual.
see one,
Right.
I've got it bookmarked on my
Right,
laptop, I
yeah.
just go in to, it's actually Paychex, and there it is.
I still think
So
employees
did you
might be able to
get your
request
email
from-
thing straightened out, I know it's a segue, but did you get your emails straightened out?
Mine, I don't use it.
No, I called Twin State and they were unable to, the rep was unable to resolve my
What?
issue. And then I called back again and I'm just like,
What's wrong with your email?
it's, I can access it via my laptop, like with the app of the phone. It's just something about Apple and putting it into your native phone app. And they need to do a request and he's like, he was stumped. And they were supposed to kick it up to the next person. And by that time, I was working.
You're
The last couple
out.
days, I didn't have time throughout the day to have that.
So you just have to go into the Outlook app.
No, he's like, when he had me on my laptop and he's like, well, I gotta take over your laptop and I'm gonna
Okay.
walk you through. I'm like,
And this,
I'm like, this is insane.
My
This is
laptop
kind
works
of-
fine, it's the phone wants them.
Yes, and it keeps asking.
It's
No,
that- it's the multi-factor authentication.
No.
because our
No.
device is no longer on record with them, so we need to register our
Oh.
device, which is like, then I go in and it still says,
You're gonna say,
it still has my iPhone 14 or whatever.
Weird.
So after
Okay.
tomorrow, I'm gonna have another.
They're
conversation.
internal.
So that's kind of a similar situation as to what I have encountered with Paychex app for a couple of our employees. One of them is a seasonal guy, came into my office, it took an hour, I kid you not, an hour to get his app to work. And long story short, he was getting the code, you know how you have to ask it to send you a code?
Yeah,
It would not text it to him, but if he asked it to call, the call came right through.
that is because, and I have the same thing at home, okay? When I originally set it up, I used my own phone,
Okay,
okay, you cannot edit that.
you can, I know how to edit it.
Okay.
I can edit
got
that,
mine
I
in.
have that ability.
Okay, then
I
good,
have
then
those
I'll have you do
ability
it.
to let me
I thought it
know.
was spam, so I didn't
But-
even.
but
look at it.
That's why.
His issue is that maybe cause he has an iPhone,
Okay.
like a new one, sort of newish. Maybe he told it to block the number without realizing it or
Okay.
something, I don't
Or-
know,
or
so it
just
wasn't
don't.
getting to text, but it's still, the phone will come. Same number, I don't understand how one would work and the other wouldn't, but
Yeah, no, okay, cause
I
that,
mean,
that's with me, cause like I said, mine's been set up for 6 years,
Yeah.
7 years,
you've had it
and I use my
before.
own phone, yeah,
Yeah.
I would.
Emily, I opened up your paycheck, by the way. Did you notice the envelope was destroyed?
No, I don't, I usually just put them there recycling. I didn't.
That's, I don't do,
Because it was in my
That's probably
box,
that check.
and I opened
that
it up.
Probably just.
yeah,
And then I
It was,
saw,
was it
this is
because we
less
ever?
than I
it was
normally
like a
make.
bush?
Oh, it's
It was-
totally.
yeah. So I'll,
Deposit that, sorry.
no, it's still.
no, so no, so that's the
Okay.
point, we can talk about more another time, but I think
Yeah.
I don't, like I said, everybody should have direct deposit
Right,
and no pay stubs.
so if somebody says, but I don't have a
Okay,
bank account, then
You go up and open one,
give them a pay
Everybody
card, you can
has.
give them a pay card.
okay,
They'll have a debit card,
Yeah.
their check will be loaded onto their debit card and they'll have to figure out how to use it from
Okay.
there.
and the
That's
thing
the
is too, if anybody, this one came up for me, but if anybody, I don't know, seasonal might do it, whatever. So I already have a Paychex account
Mhm.
through because of my Kinney paycheck,
Mhm.
they automatically merge the two.
Oh, you don't have an option to pick which employer?
Oh, I do, but I'm just
Oh,
saying,
okay.
but I'll add up,
Oh, you
I
mean your
go-
deposit was,
no, the point is, it brings up both employers.
oh, yeah,
Okay.
when he sits at
Right.
home at night and wants to count
Right.
all his money, it wants to ring out like.
But I was going, because I
like,
wanted to see what it looked like
Uh-huh.
from the town. So I said, okay, I'm going to the same one, let's see if I have to do something different, opened it, yeah, they both work.
They're both
Kinney
good,
Drugs,
yeah.
I don't know that one.
Right, so,
Yeah.
so anyway, so I think it'll be fine, it's just growing pains. We still have little issues bugs to work out, but I think it'll be fine.
Okay.
But
that, I mean, that's there so we could save some money and time for you. And lost
so
checks.
if going forward, once Rose and I are comfortable with the way they're doing our payroll, and we're happy that they're not making mistakes. we're still doing the data entry, entering in the hours from the timesheet, but eventually. We could, if we're willing to pay more money, use paychecks for people to use their app
Yes,
to log
I've
in.
done that.
And request time off and this, that, and the other thing,
Yep.
set it up so the supervisors can approve it or not approve it or whatever. Something to explore, but I wouldn't want to do that even next year, probably
No.
not till 2026.
Yeah, I did
Just
that
like-
with, for the FISU games, I did it with Paycom,
Yeah,
but that's what we did, we just punched in and
right.
it was off.
Right, and then they also have options for like, we can put. Employee documents. And push them to them that way. So that might
No
save
more
us,
binders.
exactly, that's what I was thinking, it might be something worth
Well, that's the
exploring going
thing,
forward.
yeah, because one of the things that new hires, again, I keep bringing it up because the system works. At Kenny's, when you're hired, one of the things, it has a direct deposit form right there.
Mhm,
You fill it in.
Yeah.
Bank routing number, all that
Right.
shit.
Right.
And they don't say, there's no option,
right,
boom, there it is.
Yeah.
You wanna get paid,
yeah,
direct deposit.
so, yeah, so there's that, so. Equipment repairs and maintenance, you know, I mean,
What's the number on that? Just kidding.
1,500.
Just kidding.
417, $500 in case, my biggest thing there is just in case.
Yeah.
If I don't replace my computer, but it needs a new memory or a hard drive, like Rose's computer got a new hard drive or, yeah, and new fan a couple years ago, so. There's that. The phones are what they are. The equipment rental and lease is our Canon copier. And then the finance contracts and agreements is. My. Financial management software. And the paychecks. And that paychecks is an estimate because. It depends on how they bill us every payroll for how many employees we have on that payroll. Plus there's an annual fee, so. We'll see how much it is, I don't think it's gonna be terrible, might not be 7,400. And then I have a separate agreement for my copier, so the one above, the 1282 is the lease, and then the Usherwood is the maintenance for toner and service, and. Rose and I have been having a real headache with that copier the past month, the guy's been in. 4 or 5 times to fix several different things going on with it, but it's running right now, good, so we'll see. The employee travel, I don't know that we'll need it, we could probably take that out, I don't foresee Rose and I going anywhere next year, but. I don't know, it kind of depends on what comes up for training.
Well, you
And then-
went somewhere this year, so I might as well. keep going, but-
Rose went
Rose
twice.
Rose
Albany.
went-
Yeah,
Did I do that retirement in the spring? I think I did,
yes,
yeah,
whenever you went somewhere,
yeah, so,
that's fine.
yeah.
Let's get it a little closer than Albany.
So unfortunately, my budget did not go down like the other ones,
Well, let's work
unless you
here.
see fit to,
Let's see, personal services.
yeah, right?
It's
I mean,
below 180
I could,
if you pull the 1,500 out.
yeah, but it's
computer-
not, I mean, I was just thinking I could probably work 4 days a week instead of 5, but I don't really wanna take that kind of pay cut.
I don't think you can do it.
Yeah, it would be tough.
Yeah.
So. I don't think I'm being terribly extravagant.
No, it's all
In
in,
my budget?
it's all in the 3%.
Yeah,
so
it is,
yeah.
and you know, and it's unfortunate, but that's the way that works, right? The higher paid employees, when you give them a 3% raise, it's a bigger dollar amount.
Sure, I mean, that's our biggest expense, so
So,
there you go.
yeah, so that's it, and it's almost 5 o'clock, so I'm gonna say we're done for today,
Thank
if
you.
you're okay with that.
We're not done.
You're. So yeah, so the next, just real quickly, like I said, I'll bring tabs, labels, but the next tab is the payroll
And our next budget is next Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, you keep saying Tuesday and it's not.
And I
I don't know
believe
what it is.
I think
Was it once Tuesday?
Therese is on,
We're board meeting on
and I
Tuesday.
forget who else. So anyway, yeah, so the next line, this is the wages, the next tab, so it's all of our. Full-time year round on that long one that pulls out.
Yeah.
And then seasonal and overtime is summarized at the bottom of that sheet, and then the next page is. We can go through it more later, but just, I mean, it's. I think it's self-explanatory, but you know. What are you looking at?
I'll just go over. There's
Yeah,
some salaries, that's all.
Yep, gotcha.
Yep. And then the tab after that is retirement, which is gonna be very painful to talk about, so.
Which one?
The tab after, the next tab after that is
The
retirement.
next unmarked.
The next unmarked tab, the middle, the third cut, fifth cut tab. Retirement is gonna be a bear, because I screwed up when I did the budget for this year's retirement. I already talked to Derek about it, but I will explain it to you all. Next time we meet.
Yeah, save something for next time, angle a carrot.
Yeah, right.
You guys might want me to, you know, retire because if I keep making mistakes like that.
Well, once you stop recognizing that you're making them,
Yeah, then we worry.
I have no issue with being the one who makes mistakes. When I make mistakes, I make big mistakes, but I own up to them and I know how to fix them,
Join the club and get in line.
That's right.
right?
Well, I don't feel too bad, because if Emily can't find that checkout, we're covered. We're covered. She never cashes that.
And I don't want to start not cashing checks. I just didn't realize what board we were.
It's so, I just feel like that's something that I wouldn't really.
No, I'll bet, I'll
So you
guarantee
guys are
you
gonna
had
put
it
a
shredded.
separate
I'll
one,
bet you.
right?
We're gonna.
I can end this one?
Yeah.
Okay, bye Grace.
But don't you have a